record button. Here we go.
So will people be able to then listen to it afterwards? Download
Yeah,
it,
we're going to record it. Yep.
Yeah, great.
So welcome, everybody. Thank you for being here today. I'm going to take a few minutes for everybody to populate the room here. We are broadcasting. Where are you, Pascal?
I'm in Frankfurt, Germany.
In Frankfurt.
Welcome.
Yeah, we are live broadcast from Frankfurt, Germany, Clearwater, Florida. And Tomas, you are also in Frankfurt?
I'm in a small town near Frankfurt called Marburg, university town.
Oh, great. So welcome. We're taking advantage of technology here.
It's like Boston.
Exactly. I was teasing Pascal because his background is as if there's a co-working space and nobody's wearing masks, but it looks like a nice enterprise you got back there. Thanks for sharing that with us. So thank you to everybody as usual for joining us today and registering for the webinar. I must say, and in full disclosure, not only do I have an interest in this company through another holding company, but it is through a very, very good friend of mine who has been wildly successful in his business career. And so I'm so happy to be involved and welcome Pascal and Tomas to talk about Cogia intelligence. And you're going to discover, to the extent that you were able to glean any information from the invitation and the Q&A and so forth that we've sent out, that things are moving pretty fast in the AI world, and there's a lot of meat on the bone here. And not only are you going to be able to learn from the people who are on the bleeding edge, but you're going to be exposed and aware of an opportunity that wouldn't otherwise be brought to you. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, I'm patting them on the back because I'm just so glad that we can bring the awareness to the Family Office Insights investor community in this way. So a couple of things, just housekeeping with Zoom. As you know, we can't hear or see you, but you are so welcome to ask questions through the chat box or the Q&A. We super encourage it, and please feel free to ask any question at all. We'll get to as many as we can. And then we're recording this just for the record. And so if there's others that want to see this that you know that might find it interesting or beneficial, and that if you wanted to examine it at your leisure at another time, we're going to be posting it shortly thereafter on the Family Office Insights YouTube channel. So the friend I mentioned to you that is involved, that's a good friend of mine, is sitting safely in Greece, which is where I want to be right now, but nobody wants to let me in. And but as soon as that, I just want to go on vacation. I don't want to live in Greece. It's a nice place, but I don't want to live there. So I've been living vicariously through him being there. So I have had an opportunity to look under the hood with Cogia, and I think you're going to welcome Pascal and Tomas's comments today. And so there you go. Pascal, take it away. Your audio's off.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. It's good.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad to have this opportunity to talk to you today, and thanks for taking the time to listen to this opportunity. So I'm Pascal. I'm an Italo-German, born and raised in Germany, close to Frankfurt, and I'm actually, just a little bit of my background, I'm an economist with a minor in computer science, and been now working over 20 years now in IT. So this is now my big event now to bring my little baby to IPO, basically, because timing is perfect. And I wanted to share with the situation we're in and why we think this is right now an exciting time to join us. So, one second. So, okay. Here we go. So Cogia Intelligence is basically an AI big data analytics company. That's the technology competence that we have. And we apply our capabilities we have a focus in customer experience. We believe customer experience is the new sales, especially with Apple being the frontier in how to make customer experience professional and to be successful without having really a sales team. Everybody now in the premium segment worldwide wants to become like an Apple. And with this, we have put our technology to build an end-to-end customer experience platform that helps you analyze the information, but also has an issue and ticket management system included to really have, from gathering the data to execution of improving the customer experience, everything covered. And we already have Fortune 500 companies using our technology, and we think customer experience can be thought differently. We are unique. I kind of joke around, I say, we bring customer experience to the next level, making it customer experience squared. And how do you get customer experience in the next level, to be like Apple-like and better, is if you consider a holistic approach, making customer experience your focus, but also providing a solution to improve your employee experience. If you treat your employees poorly, it's very difficult to expect them to smile and give you top treatment. In Europe, we don't get tips. So if you pay bad, you will get that kind of bad treatment to your customers. And Germany is kind of famous for, especially Berlin, for their not so great customer service, especially if you use public utilities. We joke around about that. So, and the next aspect, which now everybody, especially now with the Corona, lockdowns, etc., we have come to understand the third dimension in our business transaction, which is the social feedback. The social feedback, the employee feedback, and the customer experience feedback, that together, we believe is the way to go. And if you provide a solution for that, that hits and provides you a sweet spot and gets you to that customer squared or new next level customer experience, which will be sustainable for you, that makes the difference between you and your competitors. And that's the way to go, especially in a premium segment. Premium segment could be like premium cars, luxury goods, anything in a higher price segment where customer experience is a must if you want to keep your customers in especially fierce competition that is out there. So our AI-based solutions are based on 3 pillars of technologies. The Customer Experience Manager, which also can be applied to employee experience. Then our social media monitoring tool, because once you install customer experience, you need to collect and listen. What is mentioned about you? What are people talking about you? Also beyond your channels. And due to that, we also provide a very professional customer listening platform to collect all that data as well, and to give you a 360 in what's going on in the market. And last but not least, after you have, you have your listening, to see how your customer experience is doing, you see and you get feedback, need to be able to engage, to be active quickly on the feedback that you're getting. And so we have also built an engagement technology. All those 3 components are integrated in our Customer Experience Manager. The strategy from our strategy right now, being a small boutique, already catering Fortune 500 companies, is to become a major player in customer experience, like a Qualtrics that's been bought for $8 billion by SAP, companies like a Palantir, to be noticeable and a big player, especially right now. In the first step, we want to be the noticeable big player in Europe before we go into other markets. But this is the opportunity to become big in order then to have a big US player to buy a big visible player out of Europe. So that would be one of the exit strategies in the end that could also happen. So of course we bank and focus on scaling up our business, and that's of course why we're gonna, with the IPO, then focus and build up the indirect sales channels, working more closely with partners and scale our solution to those market segments that we are focused on, which is automotive, which is luxury, which is fashion, all high-end stuff, you know, basically all the luxury goods and premium segment products that is out there. So one of our customers, and I would like to share, is Volkswagen. Volkswagen Germany is our customer last couple of years. The beauty is that we just signed this month Volkswagen for 26 additional markets for 3 brands, which means like 3 times. One is Volkswagen limousines, which is the normal cars. Then there's a different division, different budget. It's Volkswagen utility cars. And the third brand is Audi International in 26 countries. So this is, the rollout is going to start now in January 2021. And we just signed it now. So this is our big start for the IPO. Once we are listed, we will be announcing every country that we are rolling out with the different brands and, you know, showing our growth and that we are actually ready to go, ready to fly. So BMW is our long-term customer that we already are catering to in 30 countries, and customer satisfaction. We are global preferred vendors. Actually, there's a little typo. We are actually on 30 already. So this is not up to date. However, what's hot, and this is correct, is there's a big difference. It's also the game changer for us, is that BMW has decided to roll out and have the customer experience roll out in a way that they should have an add-on also with a social media experience. So we have BMW in 30 countries that are already using our technology, and we are looking at now having an upsell opportunity to have also the coverage of the social media so that the dealers can also interact, catch the feedback out of Google and Google Maps, because that's very critical data. When you have people visiting your store, your location, and somebody gives you a poor review, you need to be able to be alerted immediately, put that in your customer experience process, respond directly, have people to respond directly, and have that all manageable and transparent. And this is possible, and BMW wants that. And we will sell just this add-on module for $2,000, $2,000 per year per dealer. That's our list price. So the potential out of that is tremendous because we have 500 dealers alone in Germany, and it's a must. So the rollout starts in 2021. It could go to 2022 if Corona is hanging out too much. I'm more positive that the vaccines are coming out early and that we can catch all. But this is just one country, and we are already in 30 countries. So that's a beauty about us with BMW to go after those dealers. And with Volkswagen, as soon as we rolled out all those countries for Volkswagen, we have the same opportunity to have that upsell of our social media add-on module, which is another $2,000 per dealer per year.
Pascal,
Yep.
Can I interrupt 1 second? Could you share with the group, because it's you're doing this day in, day out, but what exactly at the BMW and the Volkswagen level corporate are you doing for them? I think it's pretty clear what you can do for the dealers, but what exactly are you doing now for them? Give us an example of how that works.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking. Okay, so right now, what happens if you go to a BMW dealer, right? When you buy a BMW or when you do your regular checkup, you will get an email or you will get called by a call center. Your feedback, 1 to 10, will give the headquarter a net promoter score, an NPS. The net promoter score is the key indicator for BMW to know if the dealer was that good that you as a customer would recommend it to your friends or peers. After having the score, however, there's always one open text like question, meaning why have you given the score? And this open question is the place where we get a lot of insights because people then describe the reasons why they give whatever score they gave. So this information is used by the headquarters to then give to the dealers bonuses, incentives for great customer service. It's a tool to be able, from a national, even international way, going down to region and up to the dealer level, to have measures and incentives to get people motivated to improve and to benchmark yourself against other dealers. Or on the national level to benchmark states against states, how they're doing in being referred and having good referrals. I mean, as a like in net promoter score, stuff like that. And also we are benchmarking the time. For example, if you're not happy, there's an issue, a ticket system, an issue management system included. And let's say you assign it to, whatever, to Peter to go after Martin because he wasn't happy in the last service took long, it was unfriendly, whatever, to go after him. We have a timer, and actually it took how long it took for Peter to respond and call Martin about his negative experience in order to take care of that situation. All that is a measure that you can handle and control with our tool. It's a very powerful thing, and it's very beautiful to see, to be able to go on a macro level down to national and up to the regional level. And with this, you're able to see if there's a problem, a systematic problem, for example, that you can see that you need to fix, through all your outlets. This is very quickly obvious. Or if it's just a problem for a specific dealer, right? And all those measurements can be done with us and can be decided and is visible with our tool. That's what our tool does. So does that explain a little bit the power of it and what it does?
Super helpful. I think that illuminates things well. Does the AI part of what you do, is it able to interpret the free form text comment into some sort of other trending data as opposed to having somebody read it there?
Exactly. So our AI goes into the text and does the classification. Number one, to understand what this text, where does it fit to? So our AI does that and checks that and learns from it to be even better and better in its classification. Number two, it gives out the sentiment out of this and also learns to improve on the sentiment. That's how the only way to improve the sentiment is through the AI. We use different approaches, but the AI is then the way to improve have a learning and improve the percentage in the precision.
Super helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a tool to be able also to manage all your dealers and be able to incentivize them, because now you have something you can use to compare everybody and then provide, based on that feedback, your incentives, the kickback, the cash to motivate those dealerships. Okay, so let's go on with the next. After Volkswagen, which is the big highlight for 2021. We have a little outlook here about our customer experiences. We don't just do cars. We have banks that we have worked with. Pharma is a strong area that we have experiences with. So we have a broad, horizon and experience level in projects with all types of industries. Besides that, we got awarded, by the way, in Germany. Germany, Austria, Switzerland is a German-speaking territories. So Germany, Austria, Switzerland. They had an award. It's called STEP Award. It's done by the Frankfurter Allgemeine. It's basically like the New York Times in reputation and Wall Street Journal. Because Frankfurter Allgemeine has a business part and a normal part. It's a bit more, but that combined, it's the most popular newspaper in Germany in the business world and normal. They create this award, and we won the award as best in our category for Germany, Austria, Switzerland. So this is an award that you cannot buy. They have the CEO of PricewaterhouseCoopers to be part of the gremium in the decision board, professors, whatever, and they were very impressed by our, technology. Besides the fact that we're doing sentiment analysis, we have very in-depth emotion analysis and stuff like that. We're very innovative. We even own a patent, being a small company. We have a patent in the US in our search algorithm. So we're pretty nerdy and have some cool stuff. We are finalists in the European Challenge and Deutsche Telekom, T-Mobile. We were very early on one of their, startups, sponsored startups. So our team is diverse to be international, which makes it also kind of cool. And I think that makes us fit for an international play, and makes the reason why we are talking to Family Office Insight in the US. We see us global in an international. And these are the projections in our revenue. Right now we're still very small, right, in our revenues, but we are right now in a setup to explode, as you can see. Explained it to you, and why we're going to have this beautiful potential. And that's the reason why we are actually here and trying to do this step. Also, another reason for me was to become visible. Note Qualtrics has been bought. Qualtrics is a US company, has been bought by SAP, a German company. I mean, we say buy local, right? It's more sustainable. And if I would have been already a $100 million company, they would have seen me. So the whole point is we're gonna become visible, because we're playing Champions League on a technical level. Champions League is for the people that don't follow soccer, it's like NFL, right? Or NBA basketball. That's the top league in soccer. And on the revenue side, that's where we have to grow. That's the potential. That's where we use the money. We want to use the money to invest. And that's the next target for us, is growth. We want to become the next rocket, and there's some beautiful examples also out there. We are here right now. We have 50 customers. We have a strong team. We have patented technology. We have a unique emotion detection. We already have some large customers. We have, a good base of people that believe in us through crowdfunding. And here's where we want to become a leader in Europe. Become also strong in the area of open source intelligence, and use this investment and the money in research and development in the area of AI and predictive analytics. Keep on, this technological leadership that we have. And we have done some research in our peer group, just to give you an understanding. Before I get into that, how we want to grow. The growth will be done organically. As already explained, we have a lot of work to do with Volkswagen alone internationally to do all that organic business that is out there, where we're going to be super busy. But we want to grow unorganically. So unorganically meaning through strategic acquisitions. So we are having right now 3 million shares. We're looking at roughly $4 at a $12 million valuation, and we are looking to increase now 1 million shares to get to 16 in order to raise $4 million bucks. And as I was saying, our peer group that we are looking at to compare us right now in Germany, for example, just to say in a German stock exchange, we have Exasol with just 21.6 million revenue roughly, but a market cap of $500 million. So we're really looking at a multiple of revenue of 23. So if we start looking at the US, du hast das nicht probiert. Actually, there's there's one error here. This is with Palantir. If you look at the US, Palantir has 700 million in revenue. And actually a multiple of 42. And Snow is the craziest one, with a multiple of 214 times revenue. I'm just saying, like, basically that this area is actually super hot area, and this is the right place to invest. Big data, AI is hot as a topic. That means the timing is right. We are the right company right now, ready to grow organically and unorganically. And I think just by the fact that our peer group have extremely attractive multiple, you can see where this can go, especially looking at our valuation right now, that there's a lot of room for beautiful growth for just very little effort, because we just need a couple million. Just think about it. If I make 5 million revenue unorganically, and I'm already talking to several targets that we're looking to buy through stocks and cash, potentially we could be already, if I get 5 million revenue and I'm suddenly a $100 million company. That's the crazy part. I mean, and that's the beauty here, especially in a more conservative place as Germany, where we don't have the kind of same multiples as we have in the US, where you have 40 times multiple or a 200 multiple even, which is even crazier, right? Revenues. So this is the situation. And that's it for me, and I hope that was interesting, and feel free to ask me any questions.
Yeah, please feel free to ask questions. Thank you, Pascal. What's the sales cycle for
Yes.
a company like BMW and Volkswagen? And what was it that caused them to select you among the others, who clearly there's others, right? That
Yeah, clear.
can you
Clearly,
talk a little bit about that?
honestly, for example, just to give you an idea how sorry, Cogia AG is in German, so we have cogia.de, that's in English. You will find it in English if you go to cogia.de if you want to see it. Just to give you an idea how the matching went. Okay, so BMW had looked at the market. They invited everybody globally, all the best players that are out there in the world were pitching in it. And in order to win, you had to prove yourself technologically, and they gave you their data flow live. They were checking you how quickly you process the data and how well you've done the classification, the sentiment tagging, and the whole process, and how quickly that was done, and the quality and output of everything, the whole process. And out of all those global players, we as a small company made it to become, one of the best, so that we became the preferred vendor. So some things we seem to do better than others, because just by benchmarking, it's just a battle. It's like, it's like Rocky. We had the eye of the tiger. That's building up the nice technology, beating up the champions. I mean, that was it. That was BMW. And so this is not somebody giving you a gift. So you have to battle yourself. I think we have a very strong background with our, fact that we have a patent in our search. We have semantic search background. That's a strength. A lot of our competitors come from the market research and not real tech companies. So in the customer experience space, if you look at them, most of those players came from market research and then adopted to become technical companies. And we are coming from the super nerd part, building semantic search engines, and then making something for customer experience. So I think that's a bit of a difference, at least for customer experience. I mean, obviously there's other areas we have amazing competitors, I'm sure, but in this space, we seem to be stronger.
So what was the
in the
sales
technical
cycle
part.
timeline?
Okay, so from the sales cycle, to be honest, it's a typical B2B business cycle. You're looking at 12 months. It can even take 24 months. The beauty, however, with BMW or Volkswagen, I didn't mention that, these are 3 to 5 year contracts. So right now we have a 3-year contract with +1, +1. That means the buying department, 3 years goes. If we do well, they can extend it without having an RFP for another 1 year, +1. Then they can extend it another time, +1. So we can get up to 5 years without any competition, as long as we do a good job. That's the exciting part about automotive in Europe. Longer contracts, but of course, sales cycle is longer, but it's worth it, and you stay on it. Like it's like mostly, it's pretty stable if you're in. But obviously, you have to continue to be good
And it's
be competitive.
Recurring revenue, right?
It's recurring revenue, right?
Right.
It's a SaaS model.
And is there an example you can share with us how you apply your technology and skill set in a other than automotive company?
Sure. Multiple sclerosis. We did it for Sanofi. We analyzed the market, we looked at all the forums and whatever feedbacks globally, get all that big data, and we're analyzing, basically we were analyzing all the side effects. And it was very interesting part to understand. Actually, after that, I became like a multiple sclerosis expert, and I wouldn't know which medicine I wouldn't buy, we wouldn't be using. And no, but it's this is one field. It's competitive intelligence, for example, in that sense. Customer experience is our specialty, but obviously, you can use us in any field you like, right? So multiple sclerosis was very interesting. We've done even, crazy things like for pancreatic cancer, doing matching of healthy people and unhealthy people, matching the data to try to identify, which are the signals for a longer survival probability. You do pattern recognition, basically. these are just fun projects we do for on the side because we like that. But you know, really, if you're tech and you're able to handle big data and you have the experience of doing pattern like recognition and try to match stuff, the applications are huge. That's why we're trying to focus with customer experience. But yeah, we've done interesting jobs over that.
So it's not a fair question, but at what point does what size does the cohort need to be to have meaningful data to analyze?
Honestly, you can do it also with smaller amount of data. Like we also offer text mining sometimes, just for if you wanted to analyze your internal data. So if you only have, let's say you have a couple 100,000 data sets already, using a machine, identifying patterns, identifying weak signals that you would have missed through the pattern recognition, it's already worth it. I think if you do like even a research, we've done like research papers of doctors. Every interview had 16 pages. By the fact that they use our technology, they had 100 doctors, explaining the interview. Right, the interviews were about 16 pages long. For another pharmaceutical company, 100 interviews, 1,600 pages. Even for 1,600 pages, using our just throwing it into our text mining engine saved them 30% of their time, because I was able to give them a red line of what the content and the associations were in those 1,600 pages, because our system will cluster what is the most relevant terms near that what you're researching. Let's say if you're looking for side effects of multiple sclerosis, for example, or pancreatic cancer, and I can give you very quickly the pattern, the clusters, and so you get very quickly a picture of what's going on. And so that was very interesting. So really, we save you 30% of the time, just even with a small sample set. It's already cool. So I think anything beyond 1,600 pages, it's good, or 10,000 interviews, you already find things that you cannot do manually.
Yeah, I'm saying this on purpose because I know who's on the call. So imagine if you had a data set of an inoculation and you were able to record the process of the inoculation and how the inoculation was happening, and then the outcomes, then you would be able to do some sort of pattern recognition from that as well, I imagine, right?
What do you mean with inoculation?
So if you had a COVID vaccine,
okay,
for example,
yeah,
and you wanted to compare it against the two COVID vaccines or any other vaccine for that matter, as long as you had the data of the patients pre-vaccine and post-vaccine, you'd be able to deduce some really important information from that, I imagine.
Sure, that's a simple time. It depends how big, but yeah, that wouldn't be a problem. Like I said, we've been doing this for pancreatic cancer, and pancreatic cancer is a very deadly. The whole point was to have early cancer detection. That's very important. And what we also did is we scanned all the libraries, research libraries worldwide. We scanned all those treatments looking for certain proteins or antigenes. And by doing that, what we try to do is finding cures, drugs that might be already working and sufficient maybe for pancreatic cancer, but they just got the FDA for something different. So when Trump, I mean, actually it was a bad example, but when Trump said, hey, there was a drug against malaria, there is actually a possibility that the ingredients of that drug could have been also sufficient or be good against COVID. These kind of things do happen, and that's another thing what we did actually. So this is definitely something what you're saying with the inoculation, comparing those two is totally possible, and there's a lot of potential. I think it's unbelievable what machine learning can do, and big data and semantics and all the technology that we are having, and we are still at the very low level. Like we're talking low level intelligence, but due to the fact that of the data volume and the speed of our technology, it's already unbelievable what it's able to do.
Super interesting. So there's a question from my good friend, Pete Thurlow, and the world's best intellectual property attorney. So there you have it. Based on your experience with multiple sclerosis and pancreatic cancer, are you looking to do something similar in the vaccine area?
No, honestly, we're focused on customer experience. These are just our
pet project.
Yeah, pet projects, because my guys love doing good stuff. I mean, honestly, the engineers love doing good and know that they're doing something that actually could improve people's lives. And that's what I wanted to share with you. Pancreatic cancer is based on an RNA string. It's a DNA because it's right. And COVID is also on RNA, on the RNA side. That was the similarity. So our work that we have done actually would have been applicable, also very good for COVID stuff if we would have gotten COVID data. Sorry, now I got just to finish that thing. So yes, this was a pet project, but I really don't, this is not our area we are focusing on. We're really focusing on right now on customer experience.
Yep, totally makes sense. So my friend also has a question, Heather Potters, who has an amazing company, award-winning, and I'm going to Heather, so, and she's presenting next week to the community. I've known each other for quite a long time, a non-needle injectable device. So sorry about that, Heather. Her question is a proper characterization that this data capability facilitates a meta-analysis in an automated fashion? Can you see that, or do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, please repeat that. I'm sorry.
Okay. Is it a proper characterization that this data capability facilitates a meta-analysis, META, in an automated fashion? Is that a proper characterization of what you're doing?
Not always, but in this, sometimes it's a meta angle, but sometimes if we do it from a customer experience point of view, it's not on a meta level. It's really at the text level, right? It's at the core. So I'm not looking at metadata. Metadata is something that we're also considering. For example, if for us in our world, metadata, for example, if we go away from medicine, right, is timestamp, is a metadata. The name of the author is a metadata. These are interesting information details where it comes from that we also collect because it can help us, recreate, for example, a conversation, a thread from a forum, because once we crawl a forum, you have all those posts somewhere, anywhere, right? In order to put those threads together in a time frame, you need to have that metadata, and then I can show you the total thread on my machine with my analysis included. So you can see the sentiment included and all that kind of stuff on a timeline. So for that, the metadata is very beautiful and useful. And on the medicine part, yes, the metadata can be used and it's useful, we can do it. But from us, normally in our daily business, we want to go into substance, which is really the text of the people.
Pascal, may I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
To answer the question, yes, of course, it's possible to use our engine to do a meta-analysis. Meta-analysis is a comparison of different studies. And of course, we can do this.
Okay. I was taking it more on the metadata from...
But meta-analysis is another thing.
Sorry. So there's different interpretation of meta. Meta can be a header, is a metadata on the text side, or as Thomas said, the comparison of two studies. So thanks, Thomas. I hope now we got both addressed.
So we have another question here. How are you driving patient awareness to your technology? And so what you said is that this is a pet project, so it's not something that you're doing as your core business. And how do you involve patients in the deriving value from their data? Hi, Lubna.
Okay, like now, this kind of stuff is basically it's driven by that drug discovery company. So when we did these pet projects, you work with a drug discovery company biotech companies that are, active, and you just support them in their work. So they really do all that and share then the information and utilize it, because then the scientists also work with the data. We're just a small piece. We're just helping the scientists to process all that information better so that they can come up quicker with hopefully some good solutions. In the end, the scientists are still the intelligence behind it, that are working behind it. We're just helping them.
Yeah. So can we talk a little bit more about the ask and the value of your offering and how that's, you know what the numbers are? Talk about, I'm not asking you to prognosticate or predict or do anything that you wouldn't want to do, but talk about why you're doing this raise. We know why you're doing this raise now, but you're going to go public now, and that what would be the outcome of a certain amount of revenue on your valuation. And we saw the multiples of similar companies. Talk a little bit about a little bit more so we can dig a little deeper about the interesting opportunity.
Yeah. No, okay. So basically, we want to be at 2 million in revenue by the end of the year 21. And if we look at the multiples in Germany, we have 22 with my peer group, similar company totally. I should be at 40 million valuation. So you can see if you start now at valuation of 12 million, or if you do the special offer, we are actually only 9 million, because if you take because we're offering it for €3 right now for the pre-IPO before offer. So really you can calculate the multiple that we should have by the end of the year of the stock development, right? So this is just to give you an idea. And if you take it conservatively, if I don't get the full 20, which I should normally, and you just take it times 15, and I do my 2 million mark, and I'm already at 30 million market cap, right? So even there, if somebody comes in at €9, value 9 million valuation, you can make your math, like what we expect, what this comes out of it. My goal is, obviously, that we will get into a 10 million range within the next 2 to 3 years in revenue. And if the market stays the way it is in economics, we always said in ceteris paribus, which means if everything stays the same in Latin, if the market stays the same as we have right now, that gets us to a 200 million valuation. And that's where we're heading to. That's where we need to go to. So that's also the development of the stock, where we can think, where it should head to. I will have, of course, a couple more capital increases, like a couple more to do a couple more acquisitions to get there. But there's still quite a bit of fantasy and room for some nice growth. How about that? So I think the opportunity is actually very attractive at this point, and it's early.
You don't have to tell us who they are, but what's the cap table look like? How much of the company have you given away to other shareholders than the founders? And
as a cap table, we have, there's like 30 shareholders. Actually, it's 40 now. We have one, which is your friend, about, which is, he's actually the chairman. So that's the reason also, that gets our connection to New York. Andy Tepel is our chairman of the board. He's in, and of course he opens up his network to us, to the US market, and we believe the US market is very interesting to us. Obviously, US has Chrysler, has Ford, has interesting automotive companies that we want to go after, and very beautiful other targets in the luxury segment, etc. So we are definitely looking at the US and we are hoping that the US will be soon normal with the vaccines, and we'll have a prosperous America again. So, and we can do some holidays back in the US, because I would like to see some of my friends. So this is the one thing. And the other thing is that, of course, on the cap table, we have some other Swiss, there's a fund manager. He's also one of the board, Thorsten Schulz. He's a chief investment officer of a fund that is specialized more in alternative energy projects. Then we have Tilo Kirchner. He is also more like a private equity kind of guy. And then we actually even have the vice president controlling of Volkswagen utility cars part as of one of our shareholders. Note, because he's our shareholders, due to compliance, he was not able to help us. They kept a very close look at him. That was very unfortunate to have that. He could not say anything, but he's happy we're still in without his help. So that was pretty cool. But it's still good to have somebody to, like a vice president controlling, reporting to the CEO of Volkswagen worldwide utility cars. That kind of guy that can mentor you for the automotive industry, that understands how people are, that definitely helps us to get a better, a good edge to how to position ourselves properly. Also, I mean, obviously that did help. So we have good people in our shareholder list. Yeah, so there's stuff like that, and we're just in the beginning right now. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, totally cool. Can I share like a 1-minute anecdote, which I think would illustrate how, even though it was quite an amazing customer experience, I was recently staying at a Four Seasons resort, which I have no business staying at, but I was there anyway. And one of the things, it's a new Four Seasons, and they have an iPad in the room. And so the iPad's connected to the concierge, the front desk, everybody. And so when you text on the iPad, you can order your food, you can ask for your laundry, you can ask them to pick up your bags. And that level of connectivity heretofore was not done. You'd pick up the phone and call somebody and do it. But it totally streamlined the experience. It made it instantaneous service, but all the data that they would gather from that, I was thinking was amazing, because there's all the texts back and forth, right? Anyway, I just wanted to share with you that's the type of customer.
Actually, absolutely. Hotels are actually also one of our, actually we've been talking to some big conglomerate out of the US. Unfortunately, due to Corona, everything has been on the floor. I have to come back to Florida soon, hopefully in a couple of months, once things are relaxed. And there are some hotel chains we would be talking to as well for customer experience. Even franchises. We've been talking to franchises in the US already starting. We had yoga franchises. Unfortunately, they've been beaten up now, even other areas. So we'll see where it gets to. So we just need the market to come back, and our products are just going to fly. People need to be different from the others. Need to come, you need to differentiate yourself, and technology is the way to go. Digitalization is the way to differentiate, to make it be better. But yeah, so hotels are definitely also part of the targets. Just right now, not our customer target, because they don't have the money, or they don't want to spend the money at the moment.
Well, they don't have any customers. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but it's going to change. 2021 is going to be all good.
I think so.
Hopefully.
If one was interested in taking you up on the opportunity to get in, what would they need to do, and how soon do you think this thing will go to, without putting you in a corner? How soon does someone have to go in before you go IPO?
No, I mean, we're going to do it. Now we're doing the roadshow. We're going to do the listing. So we're going to have a listing right soon, so that you have the price. And then we're going to be, our big IPO is going to be by June, to be honest. That's the plan. Yeah. So, and then we hope to be starting at 4. So that's where we want to start.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So if there's any more,
by the end of the year, we need to be better.
Excellent.
Yeah, sorry?
No, I was just going to say, if there's any more questions, bring them on now. And Thomas, if you care to have a closing comment, and then Pascal, whatever you are comfortable in doing. And then, as I mentioned, we're going to make sure that you're connected to all the people who registered and attended, and then you can start a dialogue with them, and I'm sure they'll all welcome it.
I just want to thank all the guys and all the people who have listened carefully. And I just want to say that Cogia is indeed, as Pascal has lined out, a technological focused company. So we have very, very smart features here in the field of text mining and AI to analyze huge amounts of data, for example, in the pharmaceutical field.
Mm. Yeah, so we are looking for. We hope you don't mind having a German company, something outside US. These people here, like everybody who's attending this. US, as I said, is important to us and close to our heart. I mean, that's why the chairman of the board is American, and yeah. So I hope we could have some US contacts that come in. Also, hopefully we are looking for the investors. If they also have some network to help us later, it's also appreciated. That can open up doors. So obviously, because of SEC, where it can only be accredited investors, assuming most of you are family office or whatever, we don't have that issue, but a Reg D is a must. Yeah. And yeah, so I mean, we would be happy and welcome you. That right now, this is the opportunity. It's sorry to say, but right now it's €3, which is a bit more than $3, but just minimal, no worries. And we're going to be, the goal is to be, then at €4 when we start the proper IPO, when we are, having our IPO, big IPO day. And yeah, so we will be glad to have some American investors in our investor or shareholder list.
That's great.
Yeah. So, and thank you very much for the time, of course, and for the great questions.
And we'll again make sure that everybody's connected and can start a dialogue with our friends who are on the call, and be sure that you get the list and so forth. And if, as Pascal said it, and I regularly say it, that if there's anybody, if this is not for you for any reason, if there's anybody in your orbit or your world that you care to introduce, it's most welcome and appreciated. And so
Absolutely.
With that, I once again will say thank you all for being just awesome community and great friends and people, and sharing with us the only thing you can't make more of, and that's your time. So until next time, Thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, really. Thank you, Arthur. Thanks. And I hope the accent wasn't too bad.
No, it was perfect. Yeah, you should hear my German. Thanks so much.
All right, guys.
Okay.
So thank you very much.
Next time.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.